Four persons, including two women, were shot and killed on Kent State University's campus today during renewed demonstrations involving hundreds of students. The university was ordered closed as disorders continued for more than 2 hours. 6 other persons were reported shot in addition to those killed. The four persons were killed during a students and members of the Ohio National Guard outside.
In his highly acclaimed graphic novel, Watchmen, Alan Moore provides historical commentary on several different political and pop culture events of the 20th century. In this video essay, we will explore the way in which Moore uses the plot and characters of his graphic novel to critique the law and order issues of the 1970s, characterized by several martial crackdowns on civilian protests during the end of the Nixon administration. One example of Moore's criticism of the Nixon administration has to do with the Vietnam War. Throughout the early and mid-70s, many of the anti-war protests villainized and often put down by Nixon's law and order campaign were in response to the war, and primarily to the lack of success and eventual defeat of the United States in the Vietnam War. However, in Moore's universe of Watchmen, the U.S. does not lose. Instead, with the help of Dr. Manhattan and the comedian, we win the Vietnam War, and Vietnam becomes the 51st state. Despite this victory, the public arrest does not end. In fact, it worsens, and the protests turn into violent riots. Through this alternate course of history, Moore is stating that even in the face of victory in the Vietnam War, Nixon's law and order campaign would fail and only increase public unrest. Similarly, in the graphic novel, the Nixon administration, through the Keene Act, disbands and outlaws the Watchmen and labels them as dangerous vigilantes. As you may imagine, this also fails to calm the enraged citizens of America. Instead, the country falls deeper into chaos and unrest, which is made worse by the fact that the heroes are no longer around to fight crime and keep the peace. The failure of the Keene Act in The Watchmen is meant to mirror the real-world failures of the Nixon administration in their attempt to subdue public unrest in the wake of the Vietnam War and general turmoil of the early to mid-70s. This is extremely apparent in this scene from the movie adaptation of Watchmen, where a government PSA for the Keene Act is composed to resemble those of the law and order initiatives of the Nixon administration.
That their masks concealed more than just their identities. Today, they are succeeded by dangerous, violent vigilantes who have appointed themselves judge, jury, and executioner. This is vigilantism in America today. Now you, the public, have spoken. And Senator John Keene, one hero who doesn't need to wear a mask, is listening.
Lastly, in the world of Watchmen, Nixon is never impeached, most likely due to his popularity after his victory in Vietnam, and the fact that the Watergate scandal never broke into the public domain as it did in real American history. In fact, in Moore's version of history, Nixon is re-elected 3 times and is still serving as president when the novel ends in 1985. Throughout his multiple terms in office, the state of the nation turns from bad to catastrophic, with public unrest reaching an all-time high as tensions between the U.S. and USSR elevate to nuclear levels. In conclusion, by showing the lack of success of Nixon and his administration in Watchmen, Alan Moore seeks to critique the real-world policies of the ex-president and the law and order campaigns championed by his administration.